Hello guys, welcome to the 200 million Pimp My Barb. I'm going to try to make the most expensive set I've ever done. I'm a little bit anxious because it's so much money and I mean the auction house is kind of fickle sometimes. Maybe I don't want to have trouble finding the good items for the right price. I try to do these in one go, finding the best thing currently available in the auction house. So let's see how I can do that. And I want to start actually by, I'm going to put my gear away. It's much easier that way because then it doesn't get mixed in. Alright. So I want to start out with a weapon, and I think that's going to be the most important piece. I'm willing to spend up to half my budget on the weapon alone. I think if I can get, I'm not necessarily going to try to force this to happen, but I can definitely build a kick-ass armor set with 100 million. So it's all going to depend, can I get a kick-ass weapon for 100 million gold? Let's go take a look. I'm going to request a socket. I'm going to just look at it like this and compare. So with only a socket, alright, so with only a socket, it seems that the highest DPS I can get, and nothing else, is around 1,080. So 200 million is about how much my gear's worth, I'd say. So I'm going to assume, for calculation purposes, that I'm going to end up with around 1,800 strength. And so when I'm comparing weapons with stats, that's going to be the basis. Okay, so let's take a look. A weapon with 1,086 DPS. I doubt this will be the best choice for me. I'm actually fairly certain it is not. So similarly, I'm also going to assume I'll get up to around 50% crit. And this is just an initial estimate. And 300% crit damage. So I mean, I'm basing myself off of my gear here. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm going to start looking. I already don't believe that these are going to be the best ones for me. So I'm going to try looking for some strength. Okay, so here we have a mace with 160 stats on it. DPS dropped down to 1,040. So this is certainly much better than this stuff here for 80. Certainly the additional strength is much better. Now actually at this point I want to do a sanity check, and I want to compare how much this mace, the damage that this mace would do in my gear. So it has an additional 110, so again this is my weapon here. So it has an additional 110 DPS, but a substantial loss in stats. Okay, so that was 160. Mine is about 320. So for a 160 stat difference, I'm gaining 110 base DPS in the weapon. So let's pretend, and we'll compare here then. So if I'm using my weapon, it's a 930 DPS with 1800 strength. Okay. So that's giving me a base DPS before crit of 17.7k. And before a bunch of other things too. Attack speed, and but this one I would have 1640 strength, but a much higher base number. So let's compare. 1040 times, you actually have to add 1 when you do this, so it's times 17.4 for the 1640 strength. So that would be 18.1k. So this gives me a base DPS in other words, it is 2.4% better than my current weapon. If I had switched to this, I would have gained 2.4% DPS. That's not that much, right? For 90 million, that's not that much. That said, my weapon is pretty damn good. I'm going to keep looking here. Maybe I can find something that is better. In particular, the best weapon to find would be one that had natural crit damage. So I'm going to include that in the search. And it's difficult because most of these guys are actually socketing their weapons. But I think, let's take away the strength for now. Let's just take a look at has sockets and crit damage. Maximum of 100 million. And let us look. So these are all going to be the ones with gems. That's the mace I was looking at before. I mean, it's certainly a competent weapon, but it is the best I can do. I need to actually look and be very careful about this. Okay, so here, this has more stats. I would be gaining around 80 stats, but losing 70 DPS. So I don't think that's worth it, right? Just comparing from before, 160 stats was worse than 110 DPS. So 80 stats should be worse than 55. Just a raw calculation there. Alright, so this isn't really going anywhere. It seems like the weapons with crit damage are way below. Look at how low the DPS already is, right? I don't think I'm going in the direction I want to be moving here. Okay, so I'm going to actually require, even though some people don't socket their weapons, which is a shame, because now I'm going to be missing out on seeing those, I think. Because if I could find one that had 6 stats, and then crit damage on top of a socket, that would be very nice. Okay, so just to compare then with how much the stats were worth, let us imagine that I found a weapon that had a socket and 50% crit damage. Okay, so currently my crit is multiplying the damage that I do by 2.5. I have an additional 150% damage on average because I crit half the time and I crit for 300%. So if I added another 50, this multiplier would become 2.75, which is the same as increasing my total DPS by 10%. How much strength do I need to increase my total DPS by 10%? The answer is bringing my current multiplier from strength from 19 to 20.9. That means I need an additional 190 strength. So 190 strength, for me, is worth the same as 50% crit damage, natural. This means that in theory, I could find a weapon that had the combination of stats and the crit damage on it. So just going over from what I had before, I think my weapon, let's see, can I find a weapon that would have 300 stats and say 50% natural crit damage? How low could the DPS be and it would still be better than that mace? So let's think about this. I can reduce the damage from my mace by 2.5%. So that is about 24. I could bring down my current weapon to around 907 DPS. No, sorry, I totally did that wrong. I have to add the DPS. So if my current weapon had 953 with my current stats on it, it would be equal to the mace. Alright, so now that I know that, how low can I do this DPS for the 50% crit damage on the weapon to be worth? Oh, let me think about it. That's assuming I find one down here with 300 stats, which is quite a challenge, I think. Okay, well, 160 stats allowed me to drop the DPS by 110. Well, not 110, 87. So another 50% crit should allow me to drop it by a further 87. This is just a raw estimate for now, but in theory, if I can find a weapon that has 300 stats and crit damage, it could be as low as 870 and still be an upgrade. So let's put a strength there, ridiculous amount, say 200. And crit hit damage, let's put this over 101. So no. 150, can I do that? No. Vitality. Also no. This means that by necessity, that mace is the best item for me right now. I'm picking it up for 90 million. This was the best weapon on the auction house. Period. Alright. Well, for under 100 million, for what that's worth. Okay, so I've started out with a 1040 mace with strength, vitality, and a socket. So good way to start. I've spent 90 million on it. It's a lot of money, but I think I'm starting out on the wrong or on the correct direction here, because I already have a weapon that's better than mine. I mean, I had to pay for it, but it's a mace, so we're gonna get some benefit there from using Weapon Master. Okay, so that means that I have another 110 to build an armor set around this weapon. Let's try to look at a shield. With a budget this large, I definitely want to try to get a Sacred. And that's going to be expensive, but if I offer like 20 million in the budget to get a Sacred, I'm going to search for 9 to force it to be a Sacred. And I'll just take a look. Maybe I want to have some life percentage on it. It's a really good stat having a shield. I'm definitely going to require that to be high as well. And some stats. I'll do a search with strength and then one with vitality. I mean, I could also do all resist, but I think that would really push the price out of the range that I want it to be. So just to take a look here. Yeah, something like this is too low block, I think. And something like that. Also, like, these are not, I don't think these are worth the price. I could easily get a shield that had well, let's just look, right? So if I wanted 100 vitality, let's go with 70 actually, just to start. Okay, so we have one here with 20% to block. That's not bad. But 7.5 million. And then we have this one for 20, but this is not that good either. Maybe the Sacreds are too overpriced for me to even consider right now. Or, I mean, maybe I can pick up that one for 7.5, but... Okay, Strength seems a little cheaper. A little bit cheaper. Here we have one with percent life, armor, crit, and strength for 4.5. I think I like this better than the vitality already. Here one with a bigger strength amount and some regen. Okay, then one with a lot of percent life, some strength. Okay, so let's put aside this life here for a second, and let me look at some shields with block. I'm going to remove this for now. What's in the market right now? So I definitely want rares only. So let's get rid of these blues. So if I'm going to get one with block, it definitely needs to have over 20%, or it's just a waste of my time. Okay, that's bad. Fire resist, no. Vitality. Yeah, I'm not going to do this either. I mean, if I'm going to get a shield with block, I'd definitely be paying a premium over the ones that had a natural 20 that I saw earlier. I definitely want the block percentage to be quite high if I can. Okay, now we have one with armor for 11. Here at 24%, 25. Okay, this one has a bunch of stuff I'm not interested in. 29%, but intelligence, yeah, no. Okay, so I'm not liking any of these, to be honest. I'm not getting the returns that I want. I'm going to go back to the previous one. So with the life percentage and the strength, I believe there were a few ones with strength that I could go for. So I'm going to take a look. And, okay, so just look over all of these again. Too low block. Not really willing to... I mean, the percent block here is just free block, right? Like, okay, so I think this was one of the candidates. It has the armor and the natural 20 plus life and strength, so that's nice. This one here was another candidate, had bigger strength, but lower block chance and no armor. I believe there was one more. Okay, how about this? Strength, vitality, a little bit of life percentage. This one's actually not too bad, I think. Let me think about this. I think this one is quite nice, actually. Because that's 170. What did I have here? I had 12% life, but here I also have higher block amount, or block chance. So is it worth sacrificing? Yeah, I'm not sure which one of these I like best. Okay, well, let's keep looking. Maybe there's something even more enticing. This one here for 18 million only has 11% chance to block. Man, that's a heartbreak. Okay, well, before I commit to any of these, I'm going to go down. I'm willing to consider a dread if it's going to have a lot of stats. Like, this gear is going to be absolutely sick. It might not be as important to have a high block amount as it is to have the correct stats. So if I can find a sacred, or sorry, a dread that is much better, then it might be worth going down to. And by much better, I mean like 200 combined stat points with high life percentage and some other stuff. I'm willing to bet that I'll get a better deal in terms of performance coming down here. But I will have to double check, so I'm going to do that. So none of these are really enticing so far. I want to get the sickest dread shield ever, and unfortunately that's not happening either, up to a budget of 20 million. Maybe I need to drop this down another half point, which would give me even more dreads. Okay, I'm picking that up for a resell. Ignore this part. For 5k, I think that shield was worth more. Let's look at these here. Yeah, these are not really... They're not good enough. I need them to be ridiculously good. Okay, so let's just say I want a ridiculously good one, and it would have to have these stats, at least, and hopefully some more stuff. So that's not happening. Can I try Vitality instead? Vitality and Strength are roughly equal. As your gear improves, you can start thinking about just gemming your chest piece and your pants with Strength, because you already have enough defense from other pieces. So, alright, so maybe this was the mistake. Not seeing enough shields. Let's take a look at the sweet ones over here. So, no. I think there were some better options in the sacred department. So let's take a look at these sacreds here. So this one is not what I want. Not what I want. Not what I want. And then, no, the block chance is too low. Same thing. Okay, I'm looking for that right combination of all stats, but it's not really there. Maybe I just need to focus on the strength ones. I think there are some more interesting ones there. Maybe it's decision time on the strength. Let's take a look. Oh, maybe this is too high. Let's go down to 70. Alright, so now I have a whole bunch of dreads. I think I've already eliminated the dread department. I'm not really interested in them. Let's go back up to 9. So one of these is probably the shield that I want. Okay, I'm picking that up for a resell as well. Ignore this part. Actually, if that was good enough for this set, I will definitely pass it up for the set. Is this good enough? Is this good enough? It might be. The armor, the arcane resist matters. Percent life, strength, perfect 10 crit, socket. Let me just double check. I want to get the best shield for the set, but if that is the one, I will gladly give up my ridiculous amount of profit I'd make selling that thing. So let us see here. These don't really seem better than that, do they? I can put in a very big gem for the strength on that. I think this may have been the best shield, and I got it for 145k. And I think that's it. I think it's the best one. Wow. Alright, this is the shield for the set then. I picked it up for 145k. So I spent 90 million on the mace, and now 145k for the shield. So I am at 90 million and 145k spent. I still have 109 million 855k to work with. All right. I will gladly accept an additional tip at the end for giving you this shield. But let's do it. Okay, so now I want to get, let's look at some boots. I want to get move speed, and I want all resist. So I'm willing to spend, let's say, up to 5 million on the boots. There's lots of crafting going on right now. I don't need them to be perfect. I can relatively easily get the stats that I want. So for 5 million, I should be able to get good enough. I can try to look for a sick one, but that's not going to be the place where you get the most benefit in terms of a very strong piece. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of things that are not really that good. Maybe, do I want to force it to be a 63? That's going to push me out of the crafting market. I don't think I want to do that. All right. So I'm waiting for the one that's going to have either a double strength roll or vitality, and quite patient. No problems here. So I already have my first candidate here with vitality. The vitality is a little low, but it does have a high amount of dexterity and some fire resist. So I think actually that this might be a good piece for me to pick up. I'm going to just take a quick look down here, see if there's anything obviously better. This one is very similar. Doesn't have the fire resist or the dexterity. Dexterity does matter, don't ignore it. Alright, so another piece with vitality. And this is what I'm talking about, right? There's several boots that are very similar. Going up in the budget, it's not going to make them too much better. I still like this one here the best because it had the fire resist. I definitely try to piece together the resistances when I do a shopping like this. So I'm gonna give a full look. I want to make sure I'm getting the best boots, but I would already be completely satisfied picking that one with the... Okay, here's another example. This one has higher vitality, but it has arcane instead of fire. That's not a huge issue, but since I already have some arcane on the shield, it might not be ideal. It also has 1% less move speed, and it's not the end of the world, but... Okay, another one with vitality here for 3.8. Double strength roll with fire. Pickup radius, but no. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that one. Okay, so what else do we have? Starting to see some 63s, and that means a higher resist all limit, which is nice. Okay, this one would be extremely nice if the cold was something else. I don't want cold. I want something else. Okay, so nothing yet. It looks like I'm going to be running out of pieces, and I have. So I got to make a decision on the ones that I saw. I really like that one that had this one, the fire resist and the high dexterity. Whenever you can get free dexterity like this, that huge amount, 115, pick it up. And dodge helps you survive. I think the conversion on the EHP calculator of dexterity to survivability is about 5 to 1 vitality, but you have to be very careful because that only applies up to 400, and then after that it's going to drop a little bit further. So I wouldn't try to get super dexterity everywhere, but also you want to be very careful not to be squishy. And depend on the dodge, right? The dodge has to be the bonus on top. So I'm picking these up for 1.85 million. And I already have 3 pieces to the set. Okay, I'm very happy with this shield. I think it was a great find. a steal for the amount that I paid. So that means I've spent kind of almost 2 million here. This set is so large I'm going to round that out. So that means that I still have 108 million. So, and actually I have an extra 5k, but that's not going to matter. Well, here's the 5k. This would be a very nice shield for a starter Barb. For 5k, it's crazy. Okay, so that's the boots. Now we're kind of getting to the big leagues here. Getting the rest of the pieces will start to get very expensive. I still have 108 million, so maybe I want to get a Skull Grasp. Do I want a Skull Grasp? Let's take a look at them. I know they have, I want the Strength version, so I'm going to search for that. It's also a legendary ring with 100, say 100 Strength and Life on hit. 100. And they're a bit expensive, so let's do a search like this. Okay, I don't think I want a Bull Cathos for this. I'm going to want, let me just put crit chance in here real quick, and we'll take a look at the Skull Grasps. So this one for 19 million. I picked up one the other day for 13. I think that was a great deal. This one for 19 is very similar to mine, but I think mine had a little intelligence, maybe a little bit less life on hit. I really like this ring, but for this price here, I basically require it to have additional good things. I would want, like, I would want a better one. Can I get that? Can I get a Bull Cathos? Or sorry, a Skull Grasp? Something like this. This one has vitality, but it's only 30. I want something huge. Can I get that? 3% life, same as 30 vitality to me. I'm still looking. Arcane resist, that's not big enough to matter. Some magic find here. Oh, this has a bigger roll of vitality, but look at that, 40 million. That's a lot of millions. I'm not going to do this, I don't think. Especially not this early. It would be a huge dent to my budget. So unless there's one here, oh, crit damage, 15%, what a heartbreak. That could have been up to 30, I believe. Maybe not that high, but this one has a double roll of strength, so that's why it's so expensive. Okay, alright. So I'm not gonna get a Skull Grasp just yet. I might fare better with a rare. I'm gonna go back to other pieces first though. Let's take a look at some pants. I usually try to get big stat pants, something like this. 150 strength, 250 vitality. That's kind of my favorite thing to do. So these here have 430 stat points for 13 million. I don't think that's good enough. I think that's too expensive. I'm going to bring this down to 130 and this down to 220. Let's take a look at some more. Okay, now I have many pants. I'm actually going to require it to be 60. I don't want to look at the crappy stuff. Okay, so I already know that there are none with huge stats. So let's find one that does not have sockets, and then we can. Maybe I want to require it to have sockets. How about that? You must have sockets. Oh, there's only a few of them. 10. I believe that this is actually quite similar to mine, but for 25 million, that's too much, I believe. Let me take a look at mine real quick. So yeah, this is quite similar. Technically worse. Well, no, it has the armor. The armor matters. That's like 340 armor more than mine. So these are better, but for 25 million, that's kind of expensive. Can I find something better? I think I can. So let's reduce this again. I'm going to try two searches, one with vitality at 180 and one with strength at 70. Alright, so now I'm at the very low stat point. I want to make sure... Actually, if something in here had all resist, it could be good enough, but I'm really looking for the guy that didn't socket his stuff, so it's not showing up on the other searches. So here we have 26 all resist, but no thanks. 15, no. People are starting to wise up on socketing their stuff. That's actually good, because, I mean, it helps you see their items, right? It's a huge pain in the ass to do this. Alright, here we have a guy that forgot. So this is... Isn't this better than mine? No. It's close enough, though. Close enough. For 5 million. Kind of like mine. A little bit worse. Just a tiny bit. Can I find something like this, but better? Hopefully. Hopefully I can. I'm running out of room, though. There's only one more page. And... this for 40 million. Oh, no. That's way too much. So I can't do 40 million for this. It's not even that good, to be honest. I mean, it is good, but it's not 40 million good. I'm not paying 35 million more for the 38 resist all. Okay, so that means that the resist all is out. This is out. This search failed. So I'm going to try now the 70 strength, 220 vitality. So just to explain what I'm doing here. Vitality can be large on pants. So 180 is a good roll on the large vitality roll. 70 is a good roll of strength on the small strength roll. But you can also get doubles, right? You can get a second roll of vitality plus a second stat. So 220 represents a good roll on the big vitality plus a small vitality roll, as well as the 130 strength represented a good a good small strength roll plus another one. So ideally I'm trying to maximize the stats on the pants by looking for ones that have more than one. The very first search I did was one looking for... Okay, what about this, actually? For 500k. This is considerably worse than mine, right? But he does have 20 more vit, some int, some... Yeah. I think that this is worth more than 500. I could make it have 300 vitality. I don't think it's the right one for this set. Well, leave it there for a second. Okay, so this one here... You know what? This is again for me. I think I can try selling this for more. So I'm gonna do that. It's not part of the set. I think I can do better for the set. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay. This is already at 10 million though. That's a lot. That's a lot. So it seems like I'm failing to find the quality of pants that I'm looking for. What can I do instead? Well, actually at this point I'd like to stop this for a second. And I'm actually going to look for blackthorns. Take a look at the blackthorn breeches. Maybe I can look at the Inna's Glories as well. So what do we got in that department here? Okay, so we have an Inna's Glory with 200 vit, 79 strength. I like this one because the attack speed, I mean for this set, each point of attack speed is roughly like 16 strength or so, 17. So the attack speed is actually a considerable DPS boost. It's like virtual strength. And on top of that, it has move speed, right? I wouldn't pick this one up because it doesn't have perfect rolls on the attack speed and move speed, and that I think that definitely affects the resale value. And the reason why I like the blackthorns, I can actually lower this a bit. It doesn't have to be 200. Is because I might end up making a 2-set with an amulet. So if I find an absolutely sick blackthorns over here, then I might do that, right? Like there's one more property. I'm seeing a whole bunch with 80 strength and 208 vitality. There's one more property in here, and if I could get it to be something really nice, then it would be worth picking up. But the ones so far have globes or plus armor, arcane resist. Like, can I find something? Well, maybe, why don't I just do the search for this first? Okay, so some of the blackthorns have big strength. So if I can get 100 vitality from the 2-set, this means that this is a pants with 436 stats, plus some dex in it, plus the tiny life on hit, 3% life. So it actually becomes quite good. They're rapidly getting more expensive down here, but no real gain to me. For 50 million. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, so do I want to do this? Let's go take a look at some blackthorn amulets in the market right now. I'm going to search for life on hit, say 300, and attack speed, and crit damage. So there's one here for 26 million. This one has crit damage and resist all for 30 million. And the life on hit is high. If I could find a very nice blackthorns. Hard to say. Hard to say. I don't think I want to commit to pumping 26 million into this amulet just yet, even though I can get some nice blackthorns breeches to go with it. I think I might be able to do better than this amulet for this amount of money. So let's try that. Why don't we try that? So I'm going to look at an amulet right now to help me make a decision on the pants. I want this to be at least 47. And if this were gonna be the real amulet, then I would want 6 crit chance at the very least, and on top of that, life on hit. So let's say 370 life on hit. So now let's take a look at all the amulets that satisfy these requirements. Apparently, for 50 million, that's not enough. You got to go up here to 110 million. 110 million. What can I compromise on? I guess it has to be the life on hit. 40 million. Is this what 40 million's buying these days? That's ridiculous. I mean, this is my amulet, right? How much would that be worth nowadays? If 40 million is this, then maybe this is too high. Maybe it's the crit chance that's the problem. I'll bring it down to 40, 42. Let's do 42. No, it's not the problem. What is the problem then? Is it the life on hit? Is this still too high? Or is it just impossible to get this combination of stats? People are not willing to sell them. No. Okay, so what can I do then? One of these stats will have to be sacrificed. Let me take a look at what I have so far. So that's not the pants for the set. It's not good enough. We have, okay, 10, perfect 10 on the shield. This shield is ridiculous. Alright, now, okay, maybe I should send my resale stuff to my bag so I don't get confused. Okay, so my crit damage, I might be able to improve that gem a bit to 90. I need more crit damage. Alright, so let's imagine then that I'm willing to sacrifice the crit chance on the amulet if and only if I can get at least 58 crit damage and 380 life on hit. Can I do that? Well, for a rare, anyways. Apparently I can. A whole bunch of options show up. So maybe I can find an amulet with this configuration that has absurdly good stats. More than making up. Actually, let's start out with searching for attack speed, because that's, oh my god. No way! You're kidding me. Alright, so I think people clearly don't understand. Like, whoever's buying this stuff, guys, like, assuming that there were like some over here for 150 and 100 million that's sold, I don't think these people understand how stats work in this game. Because if I can go like strength 100, that's basically as good as 6% attack speed, right? Why is this happening, right? That's actually not that bad. Haha, look at that. Oh my god, that life on hit. Perfect roll of crit damage. Okay, here, this one actually is quite interesting. It's expensive. Very similar to this one. Okay, so what can I do? These two are very similar. Exchanging dexterity. This one has dexterity and cold resist. The next one has... I don't know. Alright, well, let me think about it some more. Maybe I can drop this. I mean, it doesn't have to have strength, right? It could have something else. What else could it have? Vitality. Let's do all resist as well, just for me to be shocked by how much these things cost. Yeah. Screw that. Screw this. I'm not even considering these. $100 million. Alright. So I actually want to get... I think I can do better. I think I can do better. Let's keep looking. 320 life on hit, 58 crit damage, and vitality. Let's start out with the sick number and I'll reduce it. Okay, so not 150. That's out of the cards. This for 2.5. If I flip this to strength, what happens? There's that one for 3. Oh, this is nice. Look at this thing. Look at this amulet. That is nice. For 20 million. I think this is one of the amulets I've liked the most of all I've seen. And it's a respectable 20 million. And here are the other ones I was considering, right? Just comparing them. I have much bigger stats here in all regards. But the life on hit's about 90 lower. So this is like an additional 70 stats on the strength. Very nice life on hit. Plus armor, which this does not have. If that plus armor was instead 28 resist all, this amulet would be priced much higher, even though they're identical stats. They do basically the same thing for you. Okay, alright, so I think for the discount that I get at 20 million here, I prefer this one. I prefer that one. Okay. So I think this one at 20 million is my favorite. I'm very close to sealing the deal here. At 20 million, I'm going to do it. It's mine. And for any viewers that were interested, this one here, oh well, you're going to get it after, but it's almost out for 5. I think I showed it before 10 minutes were up, so maybe someone will find it. Alright, okay, so I got the amulet. Didn't have the crit chance that I wanted, but that's fine. Look at how much strength this thing has. If I wanted to replace that, like if I get rid of the strength here and put some crit chance on it, right? Look what happens. These are worse. These are worse. And they're 150 million. What's going on with the market? That's fine. That's fine. I got the amulet. Pretty happy. 20 million. I have 88 left. And a lot of thinking to do. Alright, okay. So what can I do next? I didn't get the blackthorns. Now I gotta go back to the pants and pick a non-blackthorns. That's gonna be tricky. I think I was already looking at the strength. I already looked at the vitality. Now let's try to find one that has a mediocre strength roll, only a vitality roll, but then it's going to have something absurd on top of that. So maybe I need to do the 2-socket search, look only for the ones that are unfilled, and then from those, pick out the one that's going to have sick stats on top of it. So here we have one. I mean, this could easily have been amazing, right? Like just the strength plus vitality, and then all resists with 2 empty sockets would be quite nice. But let's keep looking. This is going to be a thorough search here. Alright, here's another one. Nothing good. Moving on. Alright, here's another one. Nothing good. Nothing good. Arcane resist. Don't care about that. Alright. So here, this is like 400 stats for 60k. Right, I picked up one earlier that similar. Right? Quite similar. I picked that one because I can make it have 300 vitality, and I think that's a good selling point. Like if you do a search for 300 vitality, it's almost nothing shows up. Okay. How about this? This is weak. I don't want that. No. No. Nothing so far. I think we're starting to get to the good stuff, or at least the more expensive stuff. Nothing yet. I wish I could search for a 4th property and definitely try out all the possible combinations, but I can't, so I have to look at them one by one. This takes a while, but it's how you get your gear on the auction house. No. Already at 250k. Hopefully we'll start seeing some good stuff soon. I've already determined that there's almost no good pants on the auction house with additional rolls. So if I'm going to pick up one of these, it's going to practically have to have either all resist or a whole bunch of other good stuff, which may or may not happen. Okay, see, we're at 400 stats at 500k. Alright, what else we got? Waiting on the good one. I'm willing to pay like 5 million for this, but it's going to take a while to get there. So a bunch of socketed ones here, 290. No. Keep looking. No. This one has health pickup, but I don't care about the other things on it. So I'm going to keep looking. I think once you get to the higher prices, there's a greater likelihood that the slots will be filled. But it's still worth trying to find one without. I mean, it's still happening, I guess, so might as well. What else do we got here? No. Resist all. 34 only. So 34 resist all for me is like 55 vitality or so this is not good enough. It would only be like a 400 stat. I'm looking for the 450 stat, the sick one. Where are the sick pants? Not here, apparently. What about this, though? No, it's too weak. Alright, Still nothing. This is about 300 stats with the fizz resist and all resist. 350 with armor. It's getting expensive. I need some good ones to show up if I'm gonna get a pants at this level. But it's not really happening. Okay. That's not good enough. So I'm already above the amount of money that I was looking to spend, but I'm being forced up here by the complete lack of good pants on the auction house. Okay, this is a 430 level, but it has absolutely nothing else. Not really interested in that, for the price anyways. Wow, I'm at 10 million, it's still nothing. It seems like I'm going to have to compromise somewhere, make a sacrifice on the pants, because I'm not able to find what I'm looking for. 15. This is a 400 level with 13 resistol driving the price up. That resistol is driving the price to 15 million. That's crazy. How about this actually? Blackthorns with double sockets. That would be like a 350. 350 with, if I could get the 2-set, but I already got the Blackthorns metal out of the equation. I don't think there's any other Blackthorns pieces I would want. The jacket is horrible. Pretty sure the belt's bad too. I could have gotten the boots. The good boots are so expensive though, it's crazy. You gotta get some crappy boots if you want to make it work. Okay, this here for 20 million. Okay, well I'm willing to buy it still, but oh no, I'm not actually. I'm already at 40. That's way too much. 40's too much. So there's nothing. There are no pants that I like. And this actually happens to me every day. Every day I look for new pants. I mean, my pants are over here. And, I mean, they're level 61 pants with just strength and vitality and some sockets. And I can't find anything better than this. It's a 450 level. I know that's high, but I mean, it's a level 61. The same stats must be getting rolled on 63 boots. And then some are getting rolled with that and resist all. Right? Like, where are those items? What can I do? I think I need to put this aside for now. Actually, I'm just going to look at these, see if they're the pants that I'm looking for. And they're just priced way up here. Okay, this one's actually very nice. This 120 million one. Very nice pants. But, beside the point, outside of my budget, I don't care. It doesn't exist. I'm going to go look at chests. Hope I can find a good deal there instead. Alright, so let's do a search for life percentage, vitality, and has 3 sockets. And now, actually, let's start out with doing a search for 250 vitality. So that should eliminate a lot of the bullshit. I can already see that these are socketed. So once I go down to 180, now I want to find the ones that don't have sockets. So let's go. Failure. All of them have sockets. Alright. So let's take a look again. This time I'm going to try to find the one that has good stats on it. Well, I think the real problem here is that people have wised up to the fact that having huge amounts of vitality, triple sockets, and percent life is a good chess piece. I think that's sunk in. It's now impossible to find the good chess pieces. Is this good enough for me? I don't know. Maybe the problem is the life percentage. Maybe I have to be willing to let that go from the chest. I already have 12 here. None on the amulet. I can get some still on the belt and shoulders, and I probably will require that. So 15 from the helm at least. Let's see, I can probably get another 13 from the belt and shoulders, so that would bring me up to 40. 40 is enough, I think. Maybe that's my problem here. Maybe I have to let this go. And I'm going to do a search for like this at first. And I see a whole lot of stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was weird. Couldn't understand how a chest piece with 150 strength and 180 vitality could cost only 3k. But now it actually makes sense. Let's take a look at these. Okay, so I think I'm getting too many hits. Let me bring up the vitality to 250 at first. No, that didn't work out. Let me bring this down to 220. I just want to bring it down slowly until I find what I'm looking for. Okay, here we have, this is a 450 level for 2 million. Nothing else on it though. Another, just the same, but 5 times as expensive. Basically, I'm paying 5 times as much for the armor. And, yeah, not interested in that one. Okay, so this didn't work. I'm going to bring it down a bit further. Okay, so now it kind of exploded. Let's see if I can find some that have empty sockets in here. That would be a great find, I'm sure. That's not happening. So let me go back and look one by one. A lot of people seem to be slotting in strength, so that's probably because I made a... Oh, let me bring this down to 140 actually. 140 is a more plausible, natural roll, I think, for a chest piece. So this is a 450 level with intelligence. A bunch of very similar ones here. I'm looking for the best one. Mm-hmm. $350 with percent life. That's a little bit more than that. A little bit more than 350. It's like a 380. Percent life kind of pushes it over the top. I think that was the one I was looking at earlier. Sadly, this is the one I like the most so far. Maybe that's what I need to do. Let me think about this. 160, 170. Alright, well, picking it up. So that was 7.75 million. I still have 80 million and 250k, or 255k to be accurate. Chest piece is in. Not terribly happy about this. It is going to save me around $1.5 million on the gems. So it really only cost me like 6. But it does have that percent life. And it does have a little bit of physical resist. And it does have a little bit of regen. And those things kind of made up for the fact that it's kind of low on the base numbers. Okay. Let's carry on. Pretty happy with how the set's turning out so far. So Let me continue. Okay. Let me find some shoulders next. Actually, you know what? I'm going to send these to my stash, and I'm going to equip them. Alright. I'm going to equip him, and I'm going to figure out how I'm doing so far. Alright, so I already got the amulet. Already got the weapon. Shield has a socket in there. It's nice. Alright. So my strength is going to be... I mean, I can always flip these gems if I need more vitality, but my strength is already absurd for the amount of pieces that I'm still missing. Okay. I badly need resist. I only have it 2 specific arcane and fire, and only 1 piece with it, plus my my intelligence. So I'm gonna need to have resist all on all 4 of these pieces, and maybe I'll get it on the pants too. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Still have the helm. I have 80,255,000. Okay, I think I can get competent shoulders, hands, oh, shoulders, belt, and wrist for around 5 million each. So that would leave me around 65. And then I need, how much do I need for a helm? That's going to depend. I can go many ways. I can try to get an Ondariel's for around 5. I can try to get a sick helm of command for around 10. Or I can try to go for a rare for around 20. So I'm going to put in helm 5, 10, or 20. It's roughly the values I'm looking at. And I have so I need both rings. The rings are going to be expensive. Maybe I should start looking for them soon. But there's many ways to build the rings. I can get some competent rings for 5 million, or if I have a lot of budget remaining, I can pump like 20 million into a skull grasp, or it's hard to say. I'm going to look for gloves next, actually. I want to see what kind of stuff's on the market. But first I'm going to grab a drink. My throat's kind of dry. Alright, let's carry on. So I'm going to look at gloves next. I still have 80,255,000. And I would like for it to have, at the very least, crit chance and crit damage, because I already sacrificed it on the amulet to get a sick one. I think this amulet here was a very nice find with a huge amount of stats and a competent amount of life on hit. Like for mine, I mean I know mine has the crit chance on top, but it was more expensive, and I had to sacrifice the life on hit. I couldn't, I mean, obviously, right, it's so unique, but like, I would have much preferred if it had more. Okay, alright, let's look at gloves. I want crit chance. I want crit damage. Hopefully I'll resist. Let's say I'm willing to spend up to 20 million on the gloves. Hopefully I'll get something much cheaper, but for the correct gloves, if it had like attack speed or something. Okay, and I'm ready in La La Land here. Let's put this 728 55. So I'm looking only at the good ones now. Let's check it out. So strength of it would be an automatic buy at this. Okay, I think this one's actually quite similar to mine, except mine has attack speed. Let's keep looking. I want to get stats. I want to get attack speed. I want to get many possible things. I definitely want crit damage if I can manage it, but I'm not going to require it to be very high. Actually, first I want to run an experiment. I'm going to ask for 36 crit damage. Okay, so that means that these gloves probably exist, but they're much more expensive. Okay. Yeah, the limit for the crafted one is 35%, so anything over that must be a drop, which makes the price ridiculous. So let's go back to my 28. I'll look only at the crafted ones. I'll bring this down to 51 as well. Let's go back to where I was. I was at around 2.5 mil. I think I was looking at this one, so let's continue. No. No. And it's getting expensive. Hopefully there's a lot of density here still. I don't want to jump from like... Okay, how about this for 6.2? Tiny amount of vitality. And they're a drop. They're not even the crafted. I don't think so. I don't think so. Eight. I'm already at 10. Now 12. Now we're starting to jump around, and that's exactly what I wanted to avoid. I wanted to be looking at several gloves for each price point. Trying to pick out the best, but it's not quite happening here. I'm very close to just going back and picking up that 6.2 mil one. I'm pretty sure I want my gloves to have these stats, so is this what I need? I mean, could I get resist all somewhere else and get big stats here? If I sacrifice this, can I ask instead for... No, I'm not going to be able to. It's going to be too expensive. Alright, let's do it. 6.2. Not the best, but not the most expensive either. Okay, so I was at 80. I now have 74 million and 55k. Okay, so I've picked up the gloves. They're competent. I'm going to keep them here for now. I want now a helm. Let's see what kind of helm I can get. I'm not going to look for the Anderos first. That would be the last choice, I think. Since I saved some money on the gloves, let's see if I can find a 25 million helm with a socket. Crit chance. Say 4.5. Let me try all resist just to see what happens. Okay, so there's actually many helms. I will increase the requirement to 55 so it weed off the crappy ones. Can I get something here that has additional stats for me? Okay, this one has strength for 10 million. Strength, fire resist, resist all, crit chance 4.5. So it's getting it got expensive super fast, but maybe the quantity of resist all that I'm asking is the problem. Maybe I can try lowering that a bit. This is 40, but this is... I kind of like this one better. Alright, so let's think about this. How would this compare to a Helm of Command? Can I get a Helm of Command with socket and strength? So this is the best I can do right now for 15. Do I want the block or do I want the resist all? I'm very iffy on the block. I mean, like I've said, you can't block certain attacks, certain specials. Anything on the ground you usually cannot block, except for that Herald of Pestilence guy that puts his arm on the ground and some poison comes out. That you can actually block. But otherwise, Molten, Plagued, Arcane Enchanted, Desecrator, those things cannot be blocked. So can't rely on the block to sustain you. I think for the extra amount that I'm paying here, I would prefer that rare one that I looked at. Before I commit, can I get something without resist all, but otherwise really good? $10 million for this. That's not even that good. Alright, nothing there either. So I was looking at this one, I believe. No, where is it? Well, let's just do the all resist search. This one. That's good enough. That's good enough. Let's bring it in. Right? Let me just think about this one more second. And Dariel's has 113 strength, but 1.5 crit less. So that's 50 strength, and say 4% attack speed on top. So we'll make it 110. Would I rather have 110 strength or 64 resist all and 47 fire resist? It's a very complicated question. The Anderos is also only going to cost me like 5. Take a look at the Endarials. Well, I have to search because of the socket, so let's do a search for 3 and 6 with a socket. I think this might be a bad search. Okay, so the intelligence ones are showing up first, and then we have first strength one here for 4.9. Would I rather do this for 4.9, or do I want to resist all? I need to get the resist all somewhere. But I don't think I can justify paying the extra 5 million on that rare helm. I'm gonna go look at it again, man. This is a tough one. Where is, it was 60 strength and crit chance 4.5. Helm. Okay, so let me go through that again. It had 119, so that's 59 strength more. The 1.5 crit chance here is approximately equivalent to 2 attack speed on the other one. So the excess 4% attack speed is worth approximately 70 or so. So let's say I have an excess of 130 strength points. Fire resist plus resist all, is that worth 130 to me? Oh man, it's so close. It's so close, but this is twice as much, so I'm going to go for the Enderos. Alright, so I've picked up the helm. That was 4.9. So that means that I still have 69,155,000. So that leaves me plenty of budget for the rings. I'm probably going to spend 5 here, 5 there. And the bracers, maybe I can put a little bit more on the bracers. Let's take a look. So these bracers will definitely have resist all. No question. I need them to have a high amount. Sacrifice on the helm, I gotta make up for it somewhere else. Crit chance around 4.5 minimum. Well, maybe 4 to put myself in the range of the crafted ones. I think I have to do that. So with that in mind, I'll drop this down to 61. Also, I want to do a quick check here. I have fire, arcane, physical, nothing, and poison, and nothing. So I have one of each, a little bit shy on the physical, so I'll try to pick up one more piece. And I still need my pickup radius. I believe I have my dexterity piece. Yes, I do. So that's good. And let's continue. Okay. Alright, so 61, 4.5, and I'm going to also ask for strength. Actually, I'll ask for vitality, and from those I'll find the one that also has strength. And hopefully some physical resist. Okay, so this one would satisfy my pickup radius, but not too concerned about that. I'm looking for the one that has strength. I might go back over these and take a better look at them, but first I really like to get the one that has strength first. So I'm already at 5 million, it's not really happening. Okay, the big rolls of it here. This seems kind of bland though, only 4 properties. I'd like something with a bit more. Okay, here we go. So what is this? 6 million. Strength of it, resist all, and crit chance. Is this what I want for 6? Maybe not. Maybe not. So let's keep looking. I have another strength bit. Another one. Okay, so they seem to be congregating around this region. Oh, what is this? Double roll of it with fire. So this would be better at 8. Oh, with poison. Oh, no. There's so many here that would satisfy the requirements, but the bonus is terrible. Fire resist? No. 10. Oh my god. How about that? For 10 million. Is this what I want? Dex and Int definitely count for something. It has a high physical resist roll. I think that's actually might be near max for a crafted item. The max is probably 50 or just under that. Can I get something even better? Okay, I'm already at 25 million, so the answer is no. I think of all the available ones, this was the one I liked the most. It's expensive. I wouldn't normally pay this much for it, but I need the physical, and it has everything I want. Maybe that's what I'm going to do. Let me take a look at the 6 million ones again. Okay. Alright, so something like this is lower all around. It doesn't have the physical. The physical is what I need. It's my shortest resistance right now. Kind of desperate for resist because I sacrificed the... I didn't pick it up on my helmet. So, poison. This one would have been nice, but it's only 1 million cheaper. It's not a huge deal. Alright. Alright, this guy knows how to price his item. It's expensive, but it's the one I need. I'm picking it up. So that was 10. Wow, 10 million for that bracer. Okay. I have 59 left. And 155k. I'm going to send these to the bank. Equip them. Alright. So my DPS is already at 27.5k. Which is like what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to get some really good deeps going. I want more fire. A little bit more fire. And maybe one more. Maybe one more of each. Or a big one on fire. I don't know. I still have 3 pieces where I can easily get some. The belt, I should look at that next actually. Okay, so how am I doing for vitality though? I can probably get some 300 vit pants easily. I can flip these and gem the shield. I might want to get a life on hit ring. Okay, let me think about this. Okay, all right. Let's go back. Let's go back. I think I need to look at pants again because that's going to influence a lot on the... So actually, Mind Trip is reminding me that he also has $100 on real money. Since I was having so much trouble finding the pants, maybe I can find something amazing over here for less than $100. It's just another auction house, right? If you sell your items for real money, then you can... Yeah, like this guy here is very smart. Very clever. This is a sick blackthorns. Okay. What else we got? We got a lot of stuff. Oh, and I believe I still need my pickup radius. Okay, I'll try to get that on the belt or shoulders. It's relatively easy there. But I definitely need to pick at least one piece. Let's take a look at these. Okay, so this is the max I can go. Alright. None of these are terribly exciting. I don't think I want to use real money to pick up something like that. No, I'm going to bring this down a bit. Maybe, yeah, I'm seeing a lot more pants now. Alright. So is there a ridiculously awesome pants over here? And it doesn't appear to... Wow, no, still no. Yeah, there's nothing here. I would be terribly excited. I'm going to bring this down, and then I'll do the same with Vitality. But at this time, I want to require sockets, so... Or, I guess 2 sockets is the max. Hopefully some of these are unsocketed. It'd be rather lucky to find something here. That was a really good deal. Okay, what is this? This is a 400 level pants with armor. Okay. Is this what I need? $15 is not that much, I don't think, for a piece like this. It's not that bad. Yeah, looking at the same stuff again. Alright, so I gotta think whether I want to actually pick up anything from here. This here is too low, right? I think this is too low. Well, this one here had armor. Like, just as a sanity check, I'm gonna go back to the gold and see how much I would have to pay for pants similar to that. So 80, 80 strength, and 220 vitality with 2 sockets. How much is that costing me? So we gotta look at only the ones that are unsocketed. In other words, it is impossible. I cannot get that here. So something like this. What about that? The resistol is roughly the same. So this would be a 350 with a 32 resistol for 6 million. Or here, I can find the 80, 220, has sockets with $15 powerful deflectors. I think that this might actually be worth $15. I think this is worth that money. The armor and intelligence combine to make it a 40 resistol, 238 vitality, socketed up with a 92, so that would make it a 330, 420 pants. Okay, so like I said, my trip is offering to buy them. So I've told him about it, and I'm going to assume that he does, or that he'll return to me, that he wasn't able to get them or something. So I'm going to assume that I have that, and I'm going to look at belt and shoulders next. So first I'm going to look for the belt that's never on the auction house, which is lifesteal, all resist, strength belt, with at least 150, at least 55, and lifesteal. Oh wait, this is the wrong auction house. Actually, I do want to look at this. This is a personal interest. I might be interested in one of these, but this is not a bad lamentation for $95, huh? Frenzy damage even by 6%. Alright. So, I'm sorry to distract, but like, I've been looking for this belt for so long. And where's my belt? It's over here. 260 strength. So this one here is roughly, including the frenzy damage, I value it at 10 strength per, roughly. So this would be a 220 with less resistol. But it does have crit chance 1. So I think the damage kind of cancels out. The strength kind of cancels out. So am I willing to sacrifice for myself 57 physical for, oh man, that's just $95. That's a lot of money. I think I'm going to pass again, but I mean, It's a tempting proposition. I think it's probably worth that amount. I just don't value the frenzy damage as much as some people do. Okay, so let's get back on track here. I'm going to the build auction house. Armor belt with lifesteal, strength 180, and all resist 55. Does this belt exist? Yes, there is one. Is this good enough? For 3.4 million. Notice that's the only one in the auction house at that price. Okay, if I give up this and instead ask for life percentage, what does it cost me? Okay, let's look at it from this end. Let's say I want to spend 6 million on this piece, and there's a few. So maybe I need to. No, I'll leave that for now. Taking a look at these, I might end up picking up that lifesteal one. Lifesteal actually is quite significant. This is going to be a sick DPS build, so the lifesteal is good. And I'd much prefer it than that life percentage over there. It seems like everything is roughly the same around here. Well, you know what? I think the amount is low. I'm gonna pick up this belt for the build. It's only 3.4 million. I think it will pay off to have the lifesteal, even though it's a low percentage. It's a low percentage, but lifesteal. Let me actually do the math here on how much this would be a benefit. It is. Okay. This is worth about 350 life on hit, and then when you pop the Wrath, it's like close to 1,000. It's 800 maybe, 900, something like that. So I think this was a competent piece. I'm going to send it to stash. I mean, for 3.4 million, you can't really complain. Even if he decides not to use it later, it's still very cheap, and he can surely resell it. Okay. So I'm down to 55 million and 755k. Alright, so I'm going to send this to stash. And I'm going to make a game. Actually, let me... Oh, it's processing. I had forgotten about that. So I'm not going to be able to have the full set, but I'm going to write down the stats on this thing, and I'm going to... Yeah, that's the problem with using the RMH. I don't think I'm gonna lean on that again for these live things, because I like having the full set ready at the end. But, okay, so it's 89 strength. I'm just going to write it down here. 89 strength, 73 int, 238 vitality, and some poison resist I don't care about, and 326 armor. I would totally have paid like 10 mil for this pants if it were on the reel, so $15 on the gold, $15 on the reel seems a good deal. So, and I have 2 sockets, go either way. Alright, so I'm going to pretend I'm wearing these pants, I'm going to put on that belt. I forgot about the processing period, that's going to be a... Okay, so I picked up the belt. So my strength right now is actually 89 higher than that. It's roughly 1300. And I still have shoulders to go. And the vitality is going to be much larger. It's 900. And I still have 3 empty sockets to work with. So I can move that wherever I want. Okay, so that's settled there. And I still have 55,755,000, and my pants are done. So I'm going to be able to get a very good shoulders, 2 sick rings. That probably means a skull grasp at this point. And okay, all right, it's looking good. However, I have put myself in the box. I try to avoid this whenever I can. My shoulders must have pickup radius. I boxed myself in. I hate doing that, but I think that this belt here was good enough. Let me take a look at the other belt I had. Yeah, it's about the same benefit there. These belts are good with the lifesteal though. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so I want to get some shoulders. Let me find some shoulders with huge strength, and I'll resist. And this is the part that's going to break my heart. Pickup radius. Please tell me that there's something good here, because I will not believe it if I have to do some crazy things because I can't find the correct shoulders that have pickup radius. Alright, just going to double check here again. I already have physical on the chest, huge physical on the bracers, so I think I'm okay there. I also have arcane there, huge, fire. Alright, so at this point I'm actually okay with fire, or really any of them. Maybe fire. Let's take a look. I can't be too picky because I'm already forcing it to have pickup radius, and I'm really hoping this won't be a problem. Oh my god. Wow. 5 yards is not enough. It's got to be 6 or more. Oh, what is this? What's going on here? What is this? Okay, I gotta stop killing myself here. What is going on? Those were amazing. Okay, this one has the percent life. That's nice. Oh, this one. I think this is it for 3.9. Well, these are very similar, actually. Very similar here. Which one do I like better? Higher int, lower resist. Same pickup radius? No. This one's a little cheaper. Let me take a look at the rest first. Alright, so yeah, there's a jump here with no real increase in gain. I'm not really interested in these then over here. So, not really interested in that. It's one of these two. One of these two. I have more arcane than physical than fire. Fire is still more common. So fire might carry. A little bit less strength. Man, these are so close. A little bit less of everything. The armor, 10 more armor. So close. Okay, so this one here has roughly 4 resist all less, 1 arcane, but it has, and 2 vitality less, but it has 5 more strength. But that's not worth it. I'm picking up this one for 3.9. Alright, so I've finished the armor. I have finished the armor, and I still have 51,855K. So I still have a little bit to work with the rings here. I'm going to send this to stash, equip it. I'll do some math on the sockets, what I'm going to do. Alright, let's look at this. The DPS is already quite nice. I think I can't really get a skull grasp though. We'll see. We'll see. I have 6% attack speed from that. And how much percent life do I have? I'm going to have 15 plus 8 and 12 here. So 20, 35. Didn't really get it anywhere else. Well, that's okay. I was forced to pick up this. And instead of that pickup radius, I could probably have paid like another 6 million to have light percentage on this. And I would have been really sick. My resists are a little bit low. A little bit too low. I might need to get one of the rings with resist all. So let me think about this. Maybe I want around maybe 40 resist all, maybe 50 on a ring, with perhaps a little bit of physical or arcane. I think fire is fine for now. I also want, let's see, how much do I have again? 51,855K. That's a huge budget for rings. That will be able to get some very nice ones, I'm sure. Let me compare this shoulders real quick with mine, just to see. Yeah, so it's very similar. A little bit less resistance, a little bit less strength, but there were none like this, right? Okay, so similar to mine, a little bit weaker, but not a huge deal. Okay, so I still want a little bit of more resist. That will have to come from a ring. And I want crit damage. I want this to be larger. I'll probably invest some in a gem here. I probably want to make the 90% if I can. So that would be another 4 million or so. Okay. Alright, let me go take a look at some rings. I kind of have a feel for what I want. Can I afford them? It's a very good question, actually, even though I have 50-something million. Okay, so I have all resist. This is going to be brutal. So I can, for this one, I probably cannot afford to get crit damage. Actually, let me check my gear again. Let me go back in game real quick. I want to check something. I am at 44.5 crit, but that is with Weapon Master. That's relatively low. I would like to bump this up at least up to 48. Meanwhile, my crit damage needs a boost. Okay, all right, I know what to do. All resist and crit damage. Let's say 24.